How's it going, everyone? It's Kyle with Prolux, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys some things you can check and test at home to see why your vacuum has no suction and why it's not picking up. These tips and tricks should work for any type of vacuum, so whether it's a bagged canister, a bagless backpack vacuum, or a bagged upright, this should apply to pretty much everything. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to hop directly into this. I'm going to be using a Prolux bagged canister as an example through this video. But what I'm showing you guys should apply to any type of vacuum. So if it's a bagged canister, bagless canister, backpack vacuum, an upright, your beloved Dyson, a Shark, Mealy, Rainbow, Kirby, any type of water filtration vacuum, what I'm going to be showing you guys should apply to all those, since it's a very simple thing that you guys can check at home. So if your vacuum's not picking up or has no suction, we're going to start with the canister and determine if this is the culprit of the issue. So what you're going to want to do is you want to get your vacuum, plug it in. If you have a canister vacuum and it has a hose attached to it, you're going to want to remove the hose. Next, you're going to find the on and off button on your vacuum, turn it on, and then place your hand directly over the hose port of the vacuum. Alright, as you saw, the vacuum has suction, but let's say you tried that test at home and you feel no suction, or if it's very weak, the next thing you want to check is going to be the bag. If the bag is full, it's not going to allow the vacuum to pick anything up, which could affect the suction of the vacuum itself. Also, if the filters are super dirty and clogged, that could also be an issue. But more than likely, if the vacuum has no suction, it's because the dirt bin, or in this case the bag, is full. So you're going to want to remove that bag, throw it away, put it in a new bag, and do that same test again. If the suction is there, then we can move on to the next thing. If not, the next thing you'll want to check is the filters. Most vacuums will have a pre and post filter. Take those out, check them. If they're dirty, clean them or replace them, and that should fix the issue. If not, send us an email at service@proluxcleaners.com. Tell us what's going on and we'll get you taken care of. Alright, so now we got the canister taken care of. We're going to move on to the next thing to check. And that's going to be your vacuum hose. This is a Plastiflex electrical hose. If you don't have a hose like this method will apply to pretty much any hose. So we're going to take the hose, attach it to your vacuum. You want to turn the vacuum on and then test the suction from the hose handle. So just remember, the vacuum works properly. We have suction coming directly from it. So once you turn it on and you place your hand over the hose, if there's no suction from the hose, you know what the issue is. The hose itself has a clog or blockage in it. So we're going to test it real quick. As you can see, the hose has suction, so we know that there's not a clog or blockage in it. But let's say in your case you have no suction or it's very weak, you have a clog or a blockage in the hose, so you're going to want to remove that. Depending on your hose length, this might be harder for some people, but what you can do is you can take a broom handle or something that's long and rigid, and you're going to shove it through the hose to try to get that blockage out. You want to do both ends. This one is curved, obviously, so you can't really put a broom handle in here, but you can use a wire clothes hanger to straighten that out, kind of push it through. If you feel some resistance, then you know you have a clog. Just be careful if you're using something sharp like a wire clothes hanger that you don't puncture a hole in the hose material. Okay, next thing we're going to be checking is a wand. This one is very straightforward. Put it up to a light, look through it. If you can see light at the other side, you know that your wand is good to go. If you can't, it's got a block in it. it's got a clog or a blockage, so remove that, you should be good to go. Last thing you're going to want to check is going to be the power head or floor tool. Alright, so with power heads or floor tools, depending on which type of power you have, checking it may be different, but it overall should be the same process. So what we have here is a Weaselwork EBK 280 head, I believe. This is just a smaller power nozzle with a brush roll. And the nice thing about this is it has a clear cover so you can see the brush roll. If this brush roll is caked with dirt and hair, it's going to cause the vacuum not to pick anything up because obviously it's restricting the suction flow, and dirt and debris can't get through these small openings if it's caked in hair and debris. So if you have a knife, go ahead and remove that hair. Luckily this brush roll is very easy to remove. So if your hair or dirt is caked onto the brush roll, I'd remove it first and then go ahead and test it and see if it's picking anything up. Once that's clear and taken care of, you're going to want to check the power nozzle itself. As you can see, there's a channel right here, and that's where the dirt and debris goes through to end up inside the vacuum. If this has a bunch of dry dirt or debris in it, this could also restrict the suction and prevent it from picking up. So if there's dirt and debris in here, get a flathead screwdriver, just shove it in there, break it all loose. And then you want to check inside the pivot as well. If you have animals that shed a lot, this is going to be the main culprit. That dog hair is going to cause your vacuum to have no suction and restrict it from picking anything up. Alright, so since we got canisters taken care of, I'm going to quickly go over uprights along with backpack vacuums just to cover my bases, just in case you guys have either type of those vacuums. The checking process of why your vacuum's not picking up on an upright is going to be the same. It's just going to be different because of the configuration. So the first thing you'll want to check is grab the hose. If your upright has a hose, it should have a hose. Disconnect it, turn the vacuum on. This vacuum is very dirty. Turn it on, check suction directly from the hose. If you have suction, then you know that the hose is not the issue. The issue is going to be usually in the head of the vacuum. I'm not sure on other upright models, but with this model, you have a flap cover on the back, so you can also check in here if there is a blockage or clog. You can also test suction directly from here. So say your hose has a clog, you're not getting suction from it, test the suction directly from this port right here. You can also look inside here, remove any clog or blockage you have. Next thing you're going to want to check is the wand. Same process. Look through it. If you can't see through to the other side, you have a clog. Remove that. On this model you have a fill tube neck, which is going to lead to the actual head of the vacuum. So you want to flip it over. Luckily, to gain access to the fill tube on this vacuum, it's very easy. There's these tabs you slide off and the bottom plate comes off very easily. And then from here, you can actually look inside the fill tube. You're not going to be able to see all the way through unless you remove the wand, so you can actually see light through it. Usually the biggest culprit is going to be this fill tube, since it's small in diameter. If you suck up a lot of dog hair or a chunk of food or something, it's usually going to clog that fill tube. So if your vacuum hasn't or doesn't have any suction, it's not picking anything up, I would check this fill tube first. And while you're in here, also check the brush roll. Once again, if it has a bunch of dirt and hair on it, you're going to want to remove that dirt and hair, so when the brush roll's spinning, the actual individual bristles can pick things up. I do want to do a quick note though. If you're using a upright vacuum that doesn't have like a hardwood floor switch on it, the brush roll is going to be continuously spinning. So when you're using a upright with that feature, on hardwood floors, it's not going to pick anything up. It's actually going to kick the dirt and debris backwards. So take that in mind if you're wondering why your vacuum's not picking up on hardwood floors. The brush roll is just kicking everything back instead of picking it up. That's pretty much it for an upright. Another thing you can check too is the bag. Most upright models these days have a full bag light indicator on it, so if that bad boy lights up, you know your bag is full, so go ahead and replace it. I'm not sure on other models since we don't sell anything else besides Prolux here, but if your vacuum won't turn on at all, there is a... Doesn't look like this model has it, but our other upright models will have a thermal reset button, which is a safety feature for the vacuum itself. If the vacuum overheats due to a clog or a full bag, it's going to kick the sensor in, it's going to turn your vacuum off to protect the motor. So there's instructions on the back side. If your upright has that, follow instructions, click that button, and your vacuum should turn back on. Upright's very simple. Just an upright vacuum, very traditional. Next, we're going to do a backpack vacuum. This is a 2.0 bagless. As you can see, it has a dirt bin. This is going to be really simple and quick. There's not much to do. If the dirt bin's full, you can go ahead and just empty it. If you have filters in your backpack vacuum, you want to check them. Half the time, the top filter on the 2.0 is going to get full of dirt, so you want to empty that. That's going to improve the suction. There we go. It's also going to have another pre-filter right here. You don't really need to worry about this one. It doesn't really get dirty, or you don't really need to replace it. The next thing you can check is this fill tube right here, which goes up to the hose port. This is going to be the main culprit of why your vacuum's not picking up. There's going to be a clog in here as well. So just like every other vacuum, turn it on, check suction directly from the hose port, and then move down the list of things we covered with the other models. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful and able to figure out why your vacuum's not picking up or why there's no suction. Just want to quickly recap everything we went over. Test the suction directly from the vacuum, whether that's an upright, backpack vacuum, or canister. If you have suction there, move on to the hose, then the wand, and then the power nozzle or floor tool. If you don't have suction in either of those things, you have a blockage or a clog, so just lodge that, you should be good to go. If you don't have suction from the unit itself, you're going to have a full bag issue. Maybe the dirt bin is completely full, or your filters are dirty and it's not allowing the airflow to move through the vacuum correctly. If you guys have any other questions or concerns, you can send us an email at service@proluxcleaners.com or leave a comment down in the comment section below. I'm Kyle Prolux. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.